This is Veena Chaurasia and you are welcome to my YouTube channel Gurukul. I have a series of video on histology for you. In this video, I will discuss major types of animal tissue in brief and structure and location of surface epithelium in detail. If you have any doubt, you may write to me in the comment section. First of all, what are tissue? Tissue are the group of cells that have a similar structure and act together to perform a specific function. Tissue is a French verb which means to weave. The term was coined by French histologist Marie Francois Xavier Bichat. He is also regarded as the father of histology. There are four types of tissue in animals. These are epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue and nervous tissue. First of all, epithelial tissue. These form a continuous layer over the external surface of the body and the internal or the luminal surface of visceral organ. It also constitutes the lining of body cavity and blood vessels. Basically, these are of three types. First of all, squamous epithelial tissue, cuboidal epithelial tissue and columnar epithelial tissue. Then comes the muscular tissue. The cell of muscular tissue has the property of contractibility. That is, it can shorten forcefully and again return to the relaxed position. This property of muscular tissue is responsible for the various movements in animals. There are three types of muscular tissue. First is striated or skeletal muscular tissue, which is associated with the voluntary muscles. Second is unstriated muscular tissue or smooth muscular tissue, which is found in the visceral organ. And the third one is cardiac muscular tissue, which is found in the heart. Then comes the connective tissue. It connects and supports the organ. These are proper connective tissue, skeletal connective tissue and fluid connective tissue. Again, proper connective tissue are further classified into loose connective tissue and dense connective tissue. Loose connective tissue is of two types, areolar tissue and adipose tissue. Dense connective tissues are also of two types, tendons and ligaments. Similarly, skeletal connective tissues have bones and cartilage, and fluid connective tissues are also of two types, blood and lymph. After connective tissue, let's see the nervous tissue. These are specialized for the conduction of impulses and are found in brain, spinal cord, motor nerves and sensory nerves. After this, let's discuss about the epithelial tissue in detail. Epithelial tissue is made up of layers of tightly packed cell that lines the surface of the body. These cells rest on the non-cellular basement membrane, which are partly derived from the underlying connective tissue and partly by the epithelial tissue itself. Cells of the epithelial tissue are set very close to each other and are separated by a very thin film of extracellular material. Blood vessels are absent in the epithelial tissue. Material like gases, ions and nutrients are exchanged between the epithelial cells and the blood vessels of the connective tissue by diffusion across the basement membrane. The function includes protection, secretion, absorption, excretion, filtration, diffusion and sensory reception. Now let's see the classification of epithelial tissue. There are two criteria for the classification of epithelial tissue. One is according to the shape of the cell and second according to the number of layers of cell found in the tissue. If there is only a single layer of the cell resting upon the basement membrane, then it will be simple epithelium, whereas compound epithelium consists of more than one layer of cells and only the cells of the deepest layer rest upon the basement membrane. If the cell attains a glandular function, it is called glandular epithelium, which we will discuss in the coming videos. Looking at the chart, simple epithelium tissues are of four types. First one is squamous epithelium. In this, the shape of the cells are squamous, that is thin, flat and scale-like. Second one is cuboidal epithelium or cubical epithelium. Here the shape of the cell is cube-like while looking in the vertical section. And third one is columnar epithelium, which consists of tall column-like cells. The fourth one is pseudostratified epithelium. Although made up of a single layer of column-shaped cell, it appears two-layered because some of the cells are shorter than others and have their nuclei at a different level. So it appears as if the number of layers are two, although they are only one layer of cells. Then comes the compound epithelium, which has more than one layer of cell, and these are of two types: stratified compound and transitional compound. Now let's see what shapes does the epithelial cell possess. These are squamous, which appears flat and thin, and this one is cuboidal. It seems boxy or cubical, and it is as wide as it is tall. Then comes the columnar, which is rectangular, and it appears taller than wide. Here these are in tissue form. This is squamous. As you see, the cells are flat and width is greater than the height, and this is cuboidal epithelial cell, which appears squarish or cube-like, and this is columnar epithelium, and the height is greater in comparison to the width. And look at this. This is transitional epithelium. This is a special form of epithelium in which cells can alter their shape. When the epithelium is relaxed, they appear cuboidal, but when it is stretched, they appear squamous. That's why this is called transitional epithelium. Now here is another criteria for the classification of epithelial tissue, that is according to the number of layers of cell present in the tissue. It can be simple epithelial tissue or stratified epithelial tissue. When the cells are in single layer resting upon the basement membrane, it is simple epithelium. But when there are more than one layer, they are stratified or compound epithelial tissue. Combining the two, that is the shape of the cell and the number of cell layers, there can be 8 types of epithelial tissue. Look at this. The shape is squamous and there is only one layer of cell. So it is simple squamous epithelium. Here the squamous cell are in multiple layer. So these are stratified squamous epithelium. Similarly, cuboidal cell in a single layer is simple cuboidal epithelium, and the same cuboidal cell in multiple layer forms the stratified cuboidal epithelium. Same with columnar epithelium. If column-shaped cell exists in a single layer, then it is called simple columnar epithelium. And when they appear in multiple layer, they are called stratified columnar epithelium. And these two types are little different. This one is pseudo-stratified epithelium. These are made up of single layer of column-shaped cell, but as some of the cells are shorter and some are taller, it seems that there is two layers of cells. Actually, it is the single layer of cell. That's why it is kept under simple epithelium. And the nuclei also, they are at the different level. So it gives an illusion that it is not a single layer but double layered tissue. That's why it is given the name pseudo-stratified, means it is falsely stratified, falsely layered. This one is transitional epithelium. It has more than one layer of cell. That's why it is kept under stratified epithelium. It has single layer of cuboidal cells at the base and 2 to 3 layers of large polygonal or pear-shaped cell in the middle, and large broad rectangular or oval cells on the surface. These are thin and stretchable. It is called transitional epithelium because the shape of the cell is not constant. It changes its shape when stretched. Now after classification, let's discuss the location and function of these epithelial tissues through this chart. First of all, I would discuss simple epithelial tissue. This is simple squamous epithelium. Note the squamous shaped cell, and these are occurring in the single layer. These forms the inner lining of the lung, alveoli, heart, blood vessel and lymphatic vessel. Here its function is diffusion, filtration and mucus secretion. The second one is simple cuboidal epithelium, that is the cuboidal cells in single layer. It lines the ducts of small salivary gland and pancreatic duct and is also found in thyroid vesicle and kidney tubules. Its main function is secretion and absorption. These are a simple columnar epithelium, that is column shaped cell in one layer. It covers the inner surface of the intestine, stomach and gallbladder. It also occurs in the gastric and intestinal gland. In bronchi and uterus, it possesses cilia at their surface. Here it is called ciliated epithelium. The main functions are absorption and secretion of mucus and enzymes. This is pseudostratified epithelium, which covers the inner lining of the trachea and large bronchi. They may possess cilia. Cilia moves the mucus, while the other function is secretion of the mucus. Coming to the next chart, let's discuss the location and function of compound epithelium. The first one is stratified squamous epithelium, which lines the buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus and vagina. The function is protection against aberration. The stratified cuboidal epithelium lines the inner surface of the salivary gland, that is the large salivary gland, and pancreatic duct, sweat glands and mammary gland. The major function of stratified cuboidal epithelium is protection. Stratified columnar epithelium is located in male urethra and the ducts of some glands. The function are secretion and protection. While the transitional epithelium lines the urinary bladder, ureter and urethra. As it is thin and stretchable, it allows considerable expansion to accommodate urine. So thus we discussed the types, location and function of surface epithelium in this video. In the next video, we'll discuss the various specialization of epithelial membrane. Till then, happy learning.